Hi, my name is Gabby, and my video is Government Matters Because. This was the topic my teacher asked me to do a video on. When I started to do the assignment of why government matters, I sat for a long time and I thought about why government mattered. And after a while, I came to the realization that I don't know why government matters, so I thought about it for a little bit longer, and I came to this conclusion. Government matters because there are certain things that we as individual citizens cannot do by ourselves. So one of the main reasons government matters is because we need them to protect our country. Government protects us by creating armies and air forces to keep us safe. It is the government's job to make sure the troops of all branches are properly trained and that they have the necessary equipment that is needed. Government matters because they decide when the military needs to be used. It is their job to know what is going on in the world and to decide what is a threat to us and what isn't. Of course, there are other things the government needs to keep us safe from. Government matters because they also have to protect our airports and borders. Terrorism nowadays is so much more terrible and more common, so government matters even more in this area. Individual citizens like ourselves can't do anything against a group of terrorists. On the same subject, government matters because when those soldiers come home from a war, the government needs to take care of them financially and medically until they go find a new job or they return to service. Government also matters because they need to help us in the aftermath of natural disasters, whether it be by flood or earthquake or hurricane or tornado. If your house were to be demolished or if a city were to be mowed to the ground, government matters because it should be able to help us get back on our feet again. So government matters in this situation until we can take care of ourselves yet again. For example, government has the resources to set up tents, not tents, but temporary shelters and aid, and to make sure people have the food that they need immediately after the disaster occurs. We can't do this by ourselves alone. Government also matters because they help to make sure that our food and our medicines are safe. Government hires people like veterinarians and inspectors and other people to make sure that our food supply is safe, and they test the food to make sure that nothing is contaminated. There's also a very strict government system in place for our medicines. Drugs have to go through years of testing before they are marketed to the public. Government matters because they help the country's citizens when they get older. They have created certain programs that help the elderly with their health care and supplement their income. These services are called Medicare and Social Security. Now, another reason why government is important is because they have created our laws and our law systems that we have in place to enforce them. They also manage the court systems that take care of the people who decide that they don't need to follow our laws anymore. The government also matters because they do have the programs in place if people lose their jobs. Unemployment insurance helps people pay for the necessities until they can get back on their feet. The government has also established a public school from elementary school through college to help educate our country's children. Now, after having gone through all this, I did discover, while doing some research on this topic, the whole idea of why government matters can be summed up in one paragraph. This paragraph, believe it or not, was actually written more than 300 years ago, and I quote, "In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, to do, ordain, and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. This is the preamble of the Constitution, and it explains why government matters.